That's okay. That's fine. Just don't hit one of my big ones. That's good. That's fine. Oh my god, are you kidding? Okay, that's absolutely huge. Okay, so this deck is one of the best decks in the game still, and despite all the nerfs to other Hunter decks, this one was left unchanged. This one doesn't run the boars. It's not like the boar OTK Hunter. Instead of the boar package, you run the secret package with a phase stalker, 2 freezing traps, and an explosive trap. People used to run 1 freezing trap and 1 snake trap, but I put in the freeze trap because the meta is slowing down with all the nerfs to aggro decks, Hunter, Warrior, Demon Hunter, and even Rogue to some extent being nerfed, and having the other decks, right, like Control Shaman being buffed, Highlander Mage will probably see a bit of a resurgence, and more control slower decks will probably start being more popular, with the aggro decks being less popular. Freezing Trap will be huge because they will be playing higher value singular minions as opposed to going wide or doing damage with spells. So this Freezing Trap, especially against a Karta defender, can be massive, and people don't expect it. They're going to expect pack tactics or snake trap or maybe 1 freezing trap, but having 2 freezing traps means that they're more likely to get it triggered against them, and it's really, really helpful. Mind games help a lot, and this card has won me several games on its own already. Other than that, it's typical tempo Dragon Hunter. You just play on curve, do the best that you can, try to keep your Stormhammer alive for as long as possible, and then close out the game with pretty solidly statted big dragons and Rottenest Drake to kill a taunt minion like a Shield of Galakron on curve. This is probably Rottenest Drake's best use, or using it to kill an astronomically large minion later, like potentially an Edwin or something, or a big 8/8. A replacement for Rottenest Drake, for all of you who are working on a budget, Evasive Worm, really solid. It's 1 mana less, so you can't always play it on curve as much to kill off a Shield of Galakron, but you get to choose what you kill. You don't need the solo adventure to play it. It still keeps the dragon synergy. You'll have a dragon on the board after you kill a minion. It's fine. It's not as good, but it's the best replacement that I can think of, and people ask me all the time what they should replace it with, and this is the card. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Oh my god, we do not want to keep 2 explosive traps. That's just god-awful. Just get those out of my sight. We want to get those out with Phase Stalker, ideally. This is a good card. This is a good card. This is a good... Like, we have a ton of good cards in our hand, right? I'm going to open with Toxic Reinforcements. But yeah, this deck wasn't even touched with the nerfs, and I don't understand why. Like, this deck and Highlander Dragon Hunter were some of the biggest issues, and yet it wasn't even, like, touched on at all. If I play this, he trades into it. Is that big of a deal? Kind of. I'll just Hero Power. I'll just play Stormhammer next turn or Sharpshooter and kill it. And it's fine. Like, there's no reason for me to let the Fairy Dragon get killed. Especially when I have something like Stormhammer that'll get me more value if I have a dragon on board, or a Corrosive Breath if I have it in hand. So we'll just shoot it. And since that's probably Bamboozle, we gotta ignore this. Oh my goodness. How's it going, my friends? Priest is the cancer of the meta. Wasn't even nerfed. I don't think it is the cancer of the meta, right? Like, nobody's playing Priest right now. And Galakron Priest, I've had no problem beating. And Res Priest isn't played anymore, so I have no real issues with it. What are you doing? Oh, this man is coining out the Eviscerate. Okay, okay. See, here's the problem. That I need to hit. I need to hit that. Also, this turn is really, really awkward. But I kind of need to kill that off, but I can't. It's not ambush. It could be dirty tricks. I kind of just got to hit his face, honestly. There's no real way around that. I can't kill the 1/4 this turn. So we kind of just got to go face with this. That was really bad. Oh, and he had another secret too. That's okay. So, I think what I have to do is I have to just ignore his minions altogether. Like, we ignore the secret. Or we just kill it off like this. That's actually genius. Even if he gets reduced to 1, that's objectively my best play. Like, okay, ambush, kill the ambush. Oh shoot, that gets bamboozled, doesn't it? Yeah, that part doesn't matter. We'll just hit him in the face, honestly. Like, that 2-3 doesn't matter. If you haven't watched my guide on when to trade and when not to trade, this is the perfect situation where you don't trade. And if you think about it for a while, you want to make him trade in here, right? You don't want to miss out on 3 damage, especially considering he's going to have, like, some pretty crazy stuff later on if he gets Galakron. You don't want to give him the chance to get that. Oh, you're stuck Diamond 3 or 5 with Highlander Rogue. Tips? Honestly, if you're stuck and you need a simpler deck, because Rogue is really complicated, I just recommend switching to Highlander Hunter or Dragon Hunter or Face Hunter or something. Like, that's the best advice I can give you. Just switch to a simpler deck if you're stuck, or just double down and focus on, like, things you need to improve on. Don't look at losses as negative things. Look at them like, how did I misplay and lose here? Because I know that it's really easy to just be like, oh, I just got super unlucky, like, it's not my fault. And it's a little bit... It's easy to do that, right? But if you really look at losses and you're like, okay, I misplayed here, this was actually my fault, I didn't do well, that's also really important to do, just to look at things objectively. We want to get the Stormhammer out, or to be invincible, and then finish the side quests. We're finishing it a bit late, but we had to play other cards, and 6 damage is still 6 damage regardless of when we play it. We have constant hero power. We'll probably end up winning this one. Priest is really bad, kinda true. EU server, most players play Priest. Wait, really? Is it that different between regions? And look, he just has to give up because I finished the quest and there's not much he can do about it. And this deck is just really, really effective. Like, it wasn't even touched with the nerfs for some reason. And I'd say that it was only behind Highlander Hunter. Like, I think it goes Highlander Hunter that only runs 1 Scavenger's Ingenuity and only runs it for the card draw. Doesn't even run it really for the buff. And then this deck, which is very close behind, is probably another top 5 deck. And it wasn't even touched. So I would very much recommend playing this. I feel bad being this guy's, like, final boss and him being a mage and me being a hunter. Because Hunter just does constant damage, but it's fine. I'll probably end up winning this game. I didn't get... Oh my gosh, I didn't get Toxic Reinforcements, but this is fine. But anyway, yeah, if you're playing a lot of Priests in EU, the Boar Hunter I came out with, like, yesterday, really, really effective against Priests. Because they're not going to rush you down, so you have the tempo advantage at first. And then, boom, you pump up a ton of boars, and even with the nerf, you have enough to OTK them, because you just do. Like, what you do is if they have a convincing infiltrator in front, you play 1 boar, hit it in, let it die, then play your other 3 or 4 and finish them off. And it's still a really effective strategy, and you have a ton of time, so it works very well. Perhaps. Hey, Mike, nice to see you streaming again. Yeah, well, yeah. I never really stopped streaming. I just did for, like, a week, because I was out of town spending time with my girlfriend, because I hadn't seen her in a really long time. And, it was nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I could Corrosive Breath this, keep it alive, and then play this, and then Snowball, which I think I want to do, right? This keeps my minions alive. It gets me a little more pressure on the board. It does some damage to his face. And even though I'm missing out 4 damage now, it gives me 4 damage later, and then he's going to have to, like, coin Reno at some point to trade into this. So I think it's still valid. Hey, E-Core, is Anchor a saved craft? And what about Terran? I'm thinking about crafting those for Tempo Warrior, but I don't know if it's worth it, mainly with the recent nerfs. If you're going to craft any, I'd say Anchor. Because Anchor is just a really, really solid card overall. Like, it's so... Oh, it's so good. You have no idea. Oh, shoot. I have to play this, don't I? I can trade in, but I'd rather just play this for now and pass. Oh, it's such a gross position to be in. But anyway, I would recommend crafting Anchor because the card draw is just really, really good. And Risky Skipper is probably Warrior's best card, so guaranteed drawing that's going to be just super beneficial. Terran is good, but not like a must craft, you know? You reached Platinum today in Runeterra? Runeterra better than Hearthstone? That's, not necessarily true. But I will say that it's pretty decent. Dude, him killing that 1-3 is actually massive. That actually is going to, like, win him the game. Kill this off. And I guess I have to trade in. Oh, it's okay though. Like, even though he's getting a ton of value, like, I still have this and decent minions on board. So it's not the end of the world, but it's still pretty problematic. But reach platinum today? Dude, I'm only bronze in Runeterra because I haven't played at all. I'm literally like 18-2 in Runeterra right now. Because obviously it's iron, but I just... The climb is so slow, dude. I feel like it's even slower than League. Not League. Well, no, definitely not League. League's a frickin' grind. But it's slower than, like, any other card game that I've ever played. It's ridiculous, man. Let's discover a thing first. Card draw's fine. Gets me more win conditions, potentially. Or a Nixia to just fill the board on turn 9. Nah, I want card draw. We have another Toxic Reinforcements. He has no heal. I should theoretically win this game over the next couple of turns, but it's fine. For me, Hearthstone is better. I think Hearthstone is a fine game. I think that they're both good for different reasons, right? I think Runeterra is a little more complex, and if you're more strategy-oriented, it's better, but it requires more focus and can kind of be a little more tilting, in my opinion, because you're, like, more focused and set on it, you know? Whereas another game, such as, well, this, that's not necessarily the case. Kind of sucks. Draws me Freeze Trap? Oh, I should have played the stupid Phase Stalker, man. I'll actually just play this. I think that that's the priority over actually hero powering, surprisingly enough. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if I Freeze Trap this, that's so much more worth it to me, right? Him not having that heal and me being able to do 7 more damage is so much more worth it than finishing the quest. Because I'll finish the quest next turn. That's 6 damage that I'm gonna do. But the fact of the matter is, I got rid of the card. And sure, I just forced him to use another removal to deal with me at this point. Which is massive. It's absolutely huge. Anyway, boom. Hero power. Play another Toxic Reinforcements. Even if that's Flame Ward, it doesn't matter. I can trade into stuff. I have Rottenest Drake. We're fine. But hey, man, first time catching you streaming, watching your vids for a while. How's my day been? My day's been doing pretty well. How about yours? My day's been going... Thank you, Dimo, for the follow. It means a lot, my dude. Let's see here. Wait. What the heck? Why do I only have 1 explosive trap? I meant to have 2 explosive traps and take out 1 other card, but that's not important. We'll get to that later. Anyway, this leaves him at a lower amount of health, when in theory I could just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then this gets left up. Ah, shoot. How do I could just Rottenest Drake and it'll live and I get to do some damage, but I think that that's a bad play. It could theoretically be Ice Barrier, and it could be a bluff. So, I'm going to do this now. Even if it gets reduced to 2, that's fine to me. Like, I don't care. It's more about pushing as much damage as possible. Then we hit that into that. Hero power first to get 1 more secret out. And then hit him. And it is Ice Barrier, so it was a good thing to play the Rottenest Drake. And then we just trade into his board. I don't want to finish this next turn because he could have Reno, so it's actually great that this wasn't finished. And I have 2 freezing traps instead of 2 explosives. That's what I did. I made a switch because I thought that the meta was going to slow down with the nerfs. Now I remember. I actually did adjust this deck a little bit. RNG in Runeterra is very minimal. If you prefer more skill-based gameplay, Runeterra is the place. That's true. I feel like it's more tilting sometimes, but also Hearthstone is RNG-based, so it's also very tilting. Did I see Jack's tournament game? I haven't watched Jack in a minute. I haven't, because I haven't been, like, I told you, I was on, like, a mini vacation thing to see my girlfriend, so I really just, like, pre-recorded a ton of games, which is why maybe 1 or 2 of them were not adjusted for the nerfs. And then, I don't know. I kind of just didn't really get into it. But, I don't know. Dude, I like his stream so much. It's so good. If you haven't already, watched Jack or JR's stream. It's super late at night. It's when I used to. I'd rather go for the card draw here. Hit. Hero power. And then probably just not really do anything else. I want to save this if I need it. I don't want to flood the board because if he plays Reno this turn, that would suck. Hello, stream. I can actually catch. How you doing? I'm doing pretty well, actually. Oh, shoot. Malagos is going to pop. He's going to get extra value out of that, and that's going to suck. That's okay. That's fine. Just don't hit one of my big ones. That's good. That's fine. Oh my god, are you kidding? Okay, that's absolutely huge. Holy moly, wait, that's big. Okay. Even if he has Reno, I think I have to finish my side quest. Hit. Hero power. I guess I do have to just finish my side quest here. Do I want to play a 5-5? I'll play the 2-3. Because in my head, right, it could be Reno. If it's Reno, I want to save this to restabilize the board with, but the 2-3 I don't really care that much about. Saw your girlfriend, cool board game. Oh, cool beard gone? Okay, she doesn't like the beard, okay, so I had to shave it. Now I look like a baby again. 50% win rate across the board with a Dragon Hunter and Highlander Hunter struggling without Rottenness Drake. If you play the Evasive Worm, have you tried the version with Evasive Worm? That's the budget version if you can't get the Rottenness Drake. Because it serves as a form of removal. It's pretty solid. It's kind of nice. So he doesn't have Reno. That's good. That's good information. He's freezing these, which kind of sucks, but honestly, I'm fine. I'm cool with it. Yeah, love using Evasive Worm as well. Does a similar function, but less tempo. It's very true. Okay, what could that be? Dude! Wait, why Ray Frost that? Explosive trap goes off, that's cool. I'm not close to dying or anything, so I kind of just let that happen. I mean, Ice Barrier, Flame Ward, probably Counter Strike or something. Vaporize? Oh ho ho, okay, well, that's kind of crazy actually. Yeah, we'll draw a card. We'll hero and shoot. I can finish him off next turn if he doesn't have Reno. So I'm okay with this. I want to save the Scale Rider for the same reason I saved it last turn. I want to save it for burst damage potentially and or to restabilize the board. Like, think about this, right? This mage has played everything correctly. He's done everything right and has had a lot of really good responses. Early Doomsayer was always the correct play there. He had Overconfident Orc. He coined out the Bone Wraith for protection and stopped me from doing damage for a turn or two. Cart Defender, Rolling Fireball. Everything that he could have done right, even up until the Solarian with the Arcane Breath to kill my 1-3 so I couldn't kill his Bone Wraith and go damage. Everything that he's done and everything he's drawn has been correct. And even so, I'm still probably going to win this game. And if I win, or if he wins, it's going to be a really close game where everything needed to go his way to win. Like, I don't know, man. Okay. That's fine, maybe. Don't get the charge. Okay. I guess he probably should have done that first, but I win this turn with these things. And boom. If he had played this first, with that, he would have got me down to 6, but he still would not have won now. But yeah, this deck is still really, really good. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to play a good deck out there right now. Currently with this deck, I am 9-3 with it. Hold up. Yeah, boom. 9-3 with this deck. It's pretty solid, honestly. Like, you can run an extra explosive trap instead of a freezing trap. I just put in a freezing trap because I felt like, with all of this, with the meta slowing down with all the nerfs that are coming out and more control-y decks probably coming through, freeze trap might be really good. I'm testing it out. It's not a huge difference. If you're still playing against a lot of Demon Hunters and stuff, explosive is probably better. But if people are playing against more priests, like apparently people are in Europe, I think freeze trap or having a second one of those would be better. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.